Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series. As we are in the middle of the round of 8 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Time to maybe do a little bit of gambling to get yourself into that championship race, as only 2 races left before we hit that championship. But here tonight at Las Vegas, it's a fast, it's a fun, it's a high bank track here, and it should put on some great racing out there tonight. We got a little over 20 drivers here in attendance, ready to put on a good show for everyone out there in CRN Nation. Carl Hammer joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, it's time to keep these playoffs rolling here and see who can make their way into the championship. And we got to start this thing off as we normally do with our anthems, and then we'll get our third broadcaster up here in the booth.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and kick this thing off here with the traditional anthems here. So, stand by.
National anthems for the United States and for Canada as we get ready to kick things off here tonight. And we'll have a 75-lap race waiting for everyone out there as qualifying is done and dusted. But before we get to it, we need to do one more thing and let these drivers know what time it is.
Start your engines!
That is our third broadcaster in the booth, apparently wide awake here tonight for tonight's race at 9:30 p.m. here my time. But it is time to get these engines fired up. It's time to go racing here tonight under the lights in the desert. Jimmy, we're done with qualifying. We're ready for the race. Why don't you give us a rundown of tonight's starting order?
Starting order of tonight's race is going to be as follows. With the pole here tonight to start things off is going to be the number 83 of Matthew Hake, and then Thomas O'Connor in Pete number 2. Charlie Stafford's going to be in third with Austin Smith on the outside and Pete number 4. Third row is going to be Kyle Emerson or Richard Covington Jr. Row number 4, Kelly Akron and Cody Brewer. Row number 5, Dylan Jacobs, Dylan Emerson, followed by row number 6 with Harry Krantz and Ron Millum. Tiffany Ellis in 13th on row number 7 with Josh Duncan on the outside in 14th. Chase Ballard in 15th, Michael Garcia in 16th, TJ Hanley starting towards the back here tonight in 17th, Cody Handler back in 18th. Rest of the field here is going to be Jay Amonin in 19th, the Harper Caps, Joshua Smith, Bruce Spencer, Will O'Connor, Brian Roy, Kent Bice. For a 25-car field here. We are on the second race of the round of 8. One more to go next week. That will be at
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Is it Kentucky?
Yep.
No, Kansas. Kansas will be at
Kansas. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
the other one I have on travel.
And then we will finish things up here at CRN for Pit Road Speed Limit Racing for their season championship at Homestead for 100 laps. So just a few more weeks before we crown a champion here at Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. Had some great races so far this season, coming down to the wire here. So who can win here tonight? How will the points lay out? Who's going to move on to that final championship round?
Yeah, winner last week, Dylan Emerson already locked himself into that championship 4, but there's still 7 other drivers that are looking to do so. Dylan Jacobs comes in 16 points ahead of the cut line. TJ Hanley 15 points out of the cut line, and Harry Krantz 4 points out of the cut line. Those 3 would make it in on points if it were ended, but we still got 2 more races yet to go. Thomas O'Connor is only 4 points behind that cut. Kyle Emerson 5 points behind. Richard Covington 9 points behind, and the Matthew Hake, your pole sitter, doing exactly what he needs to do here. He's got to get a win at this point because he is plenty far behind. I mean, 2 races, you can make up some points, but he's 32 points behind after the first race at Texas last week. So he's going to have to do some major catch-up work if he wants to try and make this thing on points. If not, well, just win and get yourself in. That's all you got to do. Any of these 7 drivers can win and lock themselves in, or maybe Dylan Emerson can get himself another win. It's not going to get him any kind of bonus points or anything like that for the final race, but he can play spoiler to maybe some of these other 7 that are looking to try and win their way in. But there's going to be a lot of other drivers out there tonight, not just the 7 that we mentioned. We got a lot of other drivers out there that are looking to maybe grab the win here tonight. Another 18 drivers looking to grab a win here on the season before the season ends. As only 3 races left, as Jimmy mentioned. We got Vegas here tonight, Kansas, and Homestead for your final 3 races. But it's time to get this thing underway here tonight. A great look at these cars here under the lights here at Vegas. It's always a great look under the lights. I always talk about it, but it's because it means so much. It's anything under the lights. You know, even back to my days of playing sports. It's just so much better when you have a night game. But it's time to go racing here tonight. If I can get my mouse to work here.
I'm back.
There we go. As we are back on the front stretch, and we are racing here at Las Vegas.
Yeah, way to go down into turn number 1. Matthew Hake will lead the way, and one of these another 1.5-mile tracks. Obviously, plenty of racing, and obviously, out here at Vegas. So obviously, some of the drivers might tend to make a couple gambles here tonight, especially with what's on line, what's at stake, with just a few races left remaining in the season. Who's going to kind of take their time and be easy with these tires and work this thing out here tonight. But Matthew Hake trying to make it here early, but a lot of shuffling going around towards the front pack of the pack here as they're going 2-3 wide, and a lot of lines being used here early on, Carl.
Yes, it's Las Vegas at its best right here. It is a 1.5-mile track, but this thing drives like our favorite 2-mile tracks with Auto Club in Las Vegas. You can put these cars in a lot of different spots, a lot of different positions going through the corners. And I know for the longest time, Kansas was quote unquote the home of Core, and it's where a lot of the Core Racing Series had their championship races. But this may very well be my favorite mile-and-a-half track. It seems to be maybe not as wide as some of the tracks, certainly not as wide as like a Kansas or something like that, but it's got a little bit more banking, and it always seems to have a little bit more grip, which lends to a lot more different lines being run, and usually that produces some better racing because you can find your way around some of these drivers to make your way through the field if you have a bad qualifying effort or if you're trying to work your way back up through after an early incident. But right now, no incidents so far as we start lap number 4. It is Matthew Hake out front, Thomas O'Connor, Charlie Stafford, Kyle Emerson, and Richard Covington for your top 5. Then you got Austin Smith, Kelly Akron, Harry Kranz, Dylan Jacobs, and Dylan Emerson for your top 10.
I want to continue to give the fans out there the shout outs that they deserve, and showing up in each and every race, the likes of Barry and Kathy and everybody else that's out there, Sunshine and Taylor out there as well, saying let's go racing early on, even before I even went live. My dogs are going crazy, so if you hear them in the background, I apologize.
They're happy for the race too, Jimmy. That's what it is.
I
saying,
guess.
Go.
Well, wife's out of town, so her went home to PA, so she's actually up in your neck of the woods at the moment, Carl, and not happy with the cold weather.
Well, yes, she shouldn't be. Yeah, it was very chilly here tonight as both my kids had softball and baseball practice respectively here tonight, and it was one where it was multiple layers. They're only wearing 2 layers. I'm wearing 3 layers because I'm not out there running around like they are. But yeah, it wasn't too fun out there tonight, so I can sympathize with her for sure. But either way, we got a new race leader out. No, never mind. I'm looking at the wrong screen here. We don't have a new race leader. It's still Matthew Hake out front. Thomas O'Connor sticking with him. There's a little bit of a 2-car breakaway at the front, and then the next about 16, 17 cars all still locked in a tight battle with each other. As you see, the battlefield mighty large right now, Jimmy.
Yeah, plenty of battling going on here, and obviously not too many people making any big moves. I am about to choke some animals. They're just barking for no reason. Kent Bice with a big move there, up 7 spots there, and trying to get things done here in that D&D car, as we learned last week what it actually was. And obviously TJ Hanley wanting to get up there as well, but starting towards the back of the pack. So this track here, a lot of time still remaining here, and obviously producing great racing. This 2-wide racing is what the drivers kind of love to see, and or be able to do, and be able to drive multiple lines, and give a little bit of a variance, I guess, being able to find something that might work a little better than their competitors, instead of being in a Congo line and hoping somebody messes up or slides up the track, or even use the crow bumper. But we got a wreck back there with the number 99 of Harper Chaps and Brian. I think that was Brian Roy or Michael Garcia getting involved here, but it's going to cause our first caution here on lap number 9. Oh,
the 64, Michael Garcia.
Wow.
Locked it up, trying not to get into the back of the 99 there at the end, and took a nosedive in the outside wall. Take a look back and see what happened on this one. As looks like Caps and 82 there, Brian Roy. Not sure who came up, who came down, just kind of tangled together there, and went spinning down the backstretch. Didn't look like too much damage to either of the cars here. Maybe getting away from this one scot-free, all things considered. So we'll see both of them back out there in action. But you see the 99 there locking it up, and wanted to stop before he got hit by anybody else. And just as he gets going, Michael Garcia was still coming at pretty full speed. Wasn't sure which way to go, and may have chose the wrong way, as a hard impact to the outside wall right there for the 64, and he's the one that got the most damage out of all of this. But either way, we'll get this thing back rolling. But Jimmy, I got a question. As Kathy Ellis out there, trying to get under your skin here, trying to give you 6 more dogs to take care of.
No.
I got a question for the.
I'm gonna take off my filter so you can hear them. They are going crazy. They're running up and down the hallway. They're the ones bark. One of the dogs barks. The other one doesn't. If I hear the other dog barking, there's somebody at my door. or trying to get in the house. And if you come in my house, I can guarantee you, if you don't live here, you will get bit. There's a reason I have a kennel, and there's a reason when he goes to the vet, he wears a muzzle. But you would never know it to this family. The dog will lay in your lap, will lick your face. Like, he's the perfect dog, but very, very protective of this household. And we treat him as as such, and as a responsible pet owner should. But I don't know what they're doing. They're never like this, hardly ever. And he's just out there howling. Maybe it's because my wife's not here.
Wife's the way the dogs will play. The way it seems
I guess.
For sure. But my question, what I was getting to is, can we show that number 88 on the screen, Jimmy? Number 88 of Tiffany Ellis. For someone that is known for paint schemes, I don't see an 88 on that car, Jimmy. I see a number 9.
I see a number 9 too.
So either both of our trading paints is not working correctly, or Little Miss Paint Shop doesn't have a correct paint scheme on here for tonight. As Tiffany Ellis going to be running the 9 here tonight. As maybe a little shout out there to Chase Elliott. But either way, Kathy, you got to root for the number 9 here tonight.
Yeah, number 9. Maybe blending in. I don't know. It's very rare. But it's a good-looking paint scheme. But I see a lot of oils out there. Flow Racing, Pennzoil, Napa. Maybe is there a theme going on here tonight?
I not that I know of. I mean, I guess you could throw Taco Bell out there as well. I mean, you have too much Taco Bell, there'll be some oil as well.
Grease, right?
But that's beside the point. Either way, we'll get back to the racing here as usual. It is Richard Covington Jr., your leader out front, with Harry Krantz and Cody Brewer, your top 3, because they decided not to come into the pits this time by. So they'll be your 3 leaders out front. And then you got Matthew Hake, Austin Smith for your top 5, Dylan Jacobs, Thomas O'Connor, Kyle Emerson, Dylan Emerson, and Charlie Stafford for your top 10. So we'll see now what that 83 can do, back with a little bit of dirty air here on the restart, starting out there in 4th.
Yeah, dirty air obviously plays a big part with some tracks. I'm not quite sure how bad it here is at Vegas, but staying out there, it's Vegas. So let's take a gamble here early on, see if it pays off, and plenty of race if it's a bad choice. But 21 has been pretty quick here, and 11 here on the outside. We'll see if these 2 racers can get this thing going. We are back under green, down and away here. Is a pretty decent start by the field, getting going here again to get this thing going. Richard Covington Jr. out front, drifting up a little bit, and I'm going to take 5, or not even 5 minutes, like 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
Well, Jimmy takes care of the dogs. We'll see which dog has got the most fight here tonight, as Richard Covington Jr., one of those 7 drivers, looking to go ahead and grab himself a win and lock himself into the final 4 here. It doesn't need a win, only 9 points behind the cut line right now, but a win, you can just breathe easy going into to Kansas next week and maybe have a little fun, get yourself tuned up for Homestead. But still plenty of racing yet to go in this one, and a lot of other cars, including the one right behind him, Matthew Hake. He does need a win. At least right now, it's looking as a must-win for the 83, and he's looking to try and get back to the front of this field. Harry Krantz is the one that is just above the bubble right now. He is running in 3rd. Dylan Jacobs up there as well, 2nd in the points coming in. So a lot of your drivers in the battle for this championship this season up there at the front of the field. But right now, Matthew Hake, your pole sitter, earlier on here tonight, back to the point. But Richard Covington Jr. using a little side draft and not letting them fully clear just yet as they go through 3 and 4. Covington Jr. sticking to the side of that 83. Give that lap lead to Matthew Hake only just, as Covington Jr. is all over the side and putting the 83 in the wall a little bit here, as now it's going to go 3 wide. Dylan Jacobs looks to the inside as Hake closes the door on the backstretch.
Yeah, able to kind of carry that the momentum from the outside, even after the scrape's kind of impressive. Or maybe the 21 felt a little bit guilty and let up just a little bit, and it allows the 5 to get by as well. So Gonna have a new second place of Dylan Jacobs, up 7 spots so far. Harry Krantz will fall back just a few spots. But the rest of the field looking pretty racy as well as everybody. It was within 3 seconds from front to back, with the exception of Jay Monin. And back there just a little bit. Looks like our 1 car lap down at the back of the pack, but just kind of hanging on there. Right now there's no, if I'm Jay, I just want to stay out of trouble. And so I'm going to hang on to the back of the pack. I'm going to run the best I can and then hopefully catch a caution and get back up on that lead lap. But Dylan Jacobs is your leader over Matthew Hake. As Matthew Hake is barely holding on as Dylan Jacobs trying to grab the lead from the 83. Oh, what a slap in the wall back there.
Got some drivers into the wall and look like somehow going to get away with it is Cody Brewer. Maybe holding up the 76er Joshua Smith a little bit as Brewer just trying to survive. No meatball, but maybe some damage to that number 12 right now as he's trying to limp that thing around. He's one of the 3 drivers that did not come into the pits. He restarted up there in 3rd, but he suffers a big loss right now, sliding all the way to the back of this pack. The other 2 that stayed out, Richard Covenant Jr. still running in 3rd, and Harry Krantz still running up there in 5th. Actually, you can drop him back to 6th right now, but it was only about 10 laps of green flag running to come into the pit. So tires maybe not making that big of a difference, and looks like Matthew Hake, your leader, maybe only electing to take 2 tires, or maybe no tires at all, maybe just fuel only. But he's got a fast Chevy number 83 here tonight, and he's looking to get himself a W here under the lights of Vegas.
Got plenty of opportunities to win here tonight, and it's who's got the luck tonight, who can roll the dice, and with fuel, tires, track position. There's a lot of things that kind of go here. It's going to be a quick one. I mean, we're on lap 21 of 75. Already had just 1 small caution, and these drivers have been kind of putting it down. So how hard or how much is a 1 saving, or how long should you save? Can they go quite a while here tonight? Typically I get a message from some of the drivers letting me know how long they could be out here tonight, but not so much tonight as I didn't get any insight of fuel mileage. So we're just going to have to find out, Carl, when they came in, and the only thing we got to go off of is when they last came in here on lap number 10, with the exception of 2.
You're talking about being lucky and rolling the dice, and it got me thinking, where did the term craps come from for the craps table? And I don't know. I had to look it up. I had to look it up because it is such a strange thing. Never really thought about it, but apparently it is likely evolving from the French word crapaude. I'm not sure how to fully pronounce that. Maybe we need some of our Canadian viewers to tell me how to pronounce that. But it is the French word for toad, because apparently in the early 18th and 19th century when it came out, it referred to the position that most of the players stood or squatted. They kind of look like toads when they were playing it. So that's how it came to be. Strange way of naming a dice game at the table, but there you go. There's a little story for you. Little notes there for the craps enthusiasts out there. But either way,
the world of useless information.
Exactly. And my wife wonders why I'm so good at Jeopardy, because all this stupid stuff that I look up and learn and just log in to the brain out there. But either way, Matthew Hake is your leader out there. Richard Covenant Jr. works his way back into 2nd. Harry Krantz in 3rd. Austin Smith, Dylan Jacobs for your top 5. Thomas O'Connor, Dylan Emerson, Charlie Stafford, Josh Duncan, and Kyle Emerson for your top 10.
I'm just kind of keeping an eye here on Thomas O'Connor. Running a little different line than the others, kind of running more of a mid-high line, mid through the corners, and running that a little higher, wider, I guess, on the straights. Some momentum, losing a little momentum there from behind the 11, but racing. So just kind of biding his time here, getting a good runs through some of these corners, because I know a lot of drivers are coming down on pretty low here. You can just see how high that Butterfinger is up on the outside. Maybe something look towards the end here, and when the tires start to wear or not be comfortable, see if the drivers shift up the track or down the track as the laps go by. But Matthew Hake wants to take no chances of being wrapped up in anything. He going out to almost a 1 second lead already now over Richard Covington Jr. That's holding on to Pete, number 2 here. And we are now at 27 of 75, so taking away.
Yeah, still plenty of racing yet to go, only a third of the way through this 75 lap race, but into a nice little green flag run here. And you see the field starting to separate out here just a little bit as the track map still plenty of room out there, but that the dots may be just spreading out here a little bit. Some single file racing, a couple of little pockets of battles as you're watching back here with Joshua Smith battling with the 19 and the 82 stuck in the middle here, and you got kind of the I guess that the remainder of what was a major battlefield early on right in front of them, and we got a big smack to the 8 of TJ Hanley. Somehow he saves it, gets it back up onto the track, and I think he got smacked in the middle of the car, so actually no damage to the 8 right there, but that was very, very interesting, and a great save by TJ Hanley.
Yeah, it's one thing to get loose with these cars. It's another to save them, and you know, we've talked about in the past how difficult it is for saving the next gen car, and I don't know why. It's just always, usually when you lose it, you lose it. And when you try to correct it or like slow down, sometimes it's all about getting in the throttle and punching it through. But some pit stops happening here. It's Harry Krantz and Richard Covington Jr. coming down in the pits. So only maybe 30 laps here tonight on green for 28.
Yeah, I mean, by the looks of it, I mean, we did have the caution, so maybe it's even closer to 25, depending on how much they're actually saving. We'll see when. Actually, it looks like we already did have Cody Brewer into the pits after he rode the wall there a little bit, came in on lap number 19. But Covington and Krantz now in to make their pit stops here. So we'll see when the rest of the field comes in, see if they're coming in. I mean, if it's around 25 laps, you should be seeing them in the next 5 laps or so. So it's not going to be that far off when it comes to Krantz and Covington from the pit cycle. But they're going to be off cycle 4 now, and they're going to be down a lap until everything cycles through here. As long as we get through a little close battle there between the 28 and the 88 now the 76 joining the fray as well. Battle for the back half of the top 10.
Yeah, just good battles throughout, and obviously drivers being aware. Obviously, you know, with a move like, you know, how Tiffany got around and ended up going high, was able to the 28 had a run, and just a little bit of lift here. It is still early on. You know, obviously pit stops will be looming, and you need to be able to finish. You need to finish the race in order to have a great finish or even get a decent finish. But drivers doing pretty well all around as they make their way around here at Vegas. Nothing really aggressive as of yet. Biggest mover of the races though right now so far, obviously TJ Hanley up 11 spots, Josh Duncan up 10 in that Taco Bell machine. So you know, maybe the grease from Taco Bell is fueling that thing here tonight and getting them up towards the front.
You got Butterfingers right behind too. I mean, you got the dinner and dessert right there, knocking on the back door. No pun intended, for sure. But either way, Matthew Hake looking very well out here tonight. 1.4 second lead ahead of Austin Smith, and looking to get himself ready for the push for the championship, hopefully, and looking to serve a better result here tonight than last week. And we'll see what the 83 can do. But there's still a lot of drivers that are looking to try and get up there. Biggest mover of the race, TJ Hanley up 11 spots, as is Brian Roy. You got Joshua Smith up 14 spots, Josh Duncan up 10 spots as well. So a lot of movers and shakers here so far early on. We're coming up now on lap number 35. So I don't know. I mean, I would think, you know, here in the next couple of laps we should see some drivers coming into the pits. Looks like already getting a call from Jay Monin that he is going to be pulling down into the pits with the 67. We'll see if there's any others. None that time by, but I would think in these next couple laps pit road's going to get mighty busy.
Caution. I'm not quite sure what happened. 82, I think, involved in this one here, Brian Roy. So I'll go ahead and find out what happened there. As caution flies, probably a perfect timing, and not for perfect timing for anybody that was down here. And see the Monin trying to catch it, ends up getting spun around there here on the front stretch, gets turned around. So caution flag flies, about perfect timing. So some people that don't like pit stops under green, well, here's your chance. Go down, get yourself some fresh tires and fuel, and get back out there. As a 2-car incident here on lap number 35.
Still got a little ways to go here, but closing in on the halfway point. But I mean, as it looks here, it looks like we're gonna have a pit stop from, I'm assuming, everybody. We'll see if maybe Harry Krantz and Richard Covington maybe decide to stay out here and shift the shift the track position again here and move their way back up through here. But I would almost think that they're gonna want to probably come in and just stay on the on the same strategy as everybody else. And unfortunately, they're going to have to work their way back onto the lead lap. But Brian Roy looks like he's going to come into the pits after having some damage, comes in there early. But now everybody else peeling off the track. It's time for a round of pit stops. And you do see the 11 thing out here, as well as the 21. They're going to try and get themselves back on the lead lap. That's their top priority right now. So it's kind of a toss up if you're the crew on those 2 cars right now. You'd like to stay on the same pit strategy everyone else, but it's also good to get back on the lead lap as soon as you can. And here they're going to try and do so. I would think they're going to stay out here. They wouldn't be able to pit this time anyway, since they're lap down. They would have to come in next time by. But I would tend to think that the 11 and 21 maybe just stay out there and get back on the lead lap.
I believe the 11 got the wave around for the lucky dog, so he'll be back on a lead lap here regardless, and be able to catch some fresh tires, being able to get a chance to go in the pits, I think, right? Well, he went on by, so I guess not. Or maybe he can go in next time?
Well, if he's the lucky dog, he'll be able to come in this time by. It's Richard Covington Jr. If he wants to stay out, he won't be able to come into the pits at all. So we'll see if Krantz decides to come in here. I would think you should. If you're Krantz, if you're back on the lead lap here, get back on the same pit strategy as everybody else. For Covington, he doesn't have a chance. He's got to stay out there to stay on the lead lap. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Pace car lights should be out this time by. We'll get this thing kicked back off as, again, we're getting close to the halfway point. And should be crossing it this next time by here. As there you go, Harry Krantz in the pit lane. And gonna get some service as the pace car lights are out. We're gonna double them up here. Harry Krantz will be able to get his pit stop done, but he does get a black flag coming into the pits. And
well,
trying to see that. It looks like,
not quite sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he got the black flag, but unfortunately, gonna have to serve the penalty here after he gets back on the lead lap. But in the meantime, it is the 83 of Matthew Hake out front. Austin Smith in second, Dylan Emerson, Dylan Jacobs, and TJ Handley for your top 5. Thomas O'Connor, Joshua Smith, Charlie Stafford, Kyle Emerson, and Harper Caps for your top 10 as we'll get this thing back underway. We are at the halfway points. Jimmy, I think it's about time we go ahead and crank this thing up and give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Love to hear it. 5 laps to go. You see earlier there, they had the an incident with the 60 of Kyle Emerson on the backstretch, kind of slowing up, and I was kind of surprised no caution flown. Carl's still out at the moment, but I just wanted to fill in and just seeing that incident that happened there on the backstretch, and we're still green here as we close below that 25 lap remaining here. So any pit stop from here on out should make it the rest of the way. I don't think anything that they do right now they can make it in the entirety. We have a change for the lead. Obviously, Dylan Jacobs in the 5 has got around Matthew Hake. Actually, Matthew Hake has dropped down just a little bit into P number 4 as Austin Smith has moved into P number 2 and TJ Hanley up into 3rd place here tonight in that number 8. So rough start for some drivers, great jump for some others as TJ Hanley, as we already said, was up 14 spots. Joshua Smith up 15. Harper Capps in that number 99, as we've seen him get wrapped up earlier, back in P number 10 and up 12 spots. That number 24 of Will O'Connor can continue to give even some of the drivers even that started in the way in the back up 10 spots. Kent Bice right around in P number 15 at the moment. Track map is kind of starting to get scattered just a little bit, but we still have a lot of red on the table here. I'll go ahead and change the gains to the intervals between the drivers here, and you can see who's battling. Orange within a half a second, and if they go red, they're under a tenth. Yellow is if they're over a half a second. So drivers doing a fantastic job here tonight at Las Vegas. Dylan Jacobs is your leader of Austin Smith, TJ Hanley, Matthew Hake, and Dylan Emerson. Want to continue to, like I said, give a shout out to the fans out there. If you haven't seen your favorite driver in a little while, let us know there in the chat, and I will move around and see what your favorite driver is doing. And I read in the chat that Tiffany is out there on a controller tonight. So we've had a few drivers do very well on controllers. Matter of fact, a few winners.
The controller that put the wrong paint scheme on there as well. just
maybe, but it's kind of one thing. I think the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and I know some people do it, is driving with the keyboard and mouse, and I don't know. Oh no, the 21!
Covington misses pit road, and at that point he may end up getting a black flag coming in that way. And either way, I think it's rough for Covington. Looks like he may have gotten away with it. I don't see a black flag popping up just yet, and it looks like the 21 going to get away with it on this one and maybe saving his chances in this race. But with only a couple cautions out here tonight, it's been a good one right now. Dylan Jacobs leads the way as we're starting what could be the last round of pit stops, question mark. I don't know. Can they make it to the end here, Jimmy? I mean, some of these drivers certainly coming in a little bit early, but we've seen the pit stops be, you know, I know we had the caution kind of right at the start of the pit cycle, but it seemed to be around like maybe 26 laps or so. It's going to be pushing it to try and make it all the way to the end with a pit stop here. It's going to get busy right now, but can they make it to the end is the question, or do they have to do a little bit of saving?
Nah, you got 17 laps to go, Carl. They'll be able to make it the rest of the way here, unless they have some, 10 green flag white or green white flag restarts or something that take this thing into supreme overtime. But your leaders are starting. A lot of your front runners are coming into the pits, making some pit stops. Dylan Jacobs staying out. Will the undercut work out well here tonight, or can a caution happen? And that's a lot of times what happens. Like, the likes of Matthew Hake and a few of Harry Krantz and the 21 Richard Covington Jr. They came in early and the caution ended up coming out and it bit them in the butt where they were down a lap. So you can see how many people are on the lead lap. Right at the moment, we're only at 8 cars on the lead lap right now. So that's Jacob Smith, Emerson, Capps, O'Connor, Akron, Millam, Smith are the only ones on the lead lap at the moment. So everybody else a lap down for the most part, and all the way back to Ballard, where he is 2 laps down. So interesting race here and choices as the drivers are gambling here tonight on this one.
Yeah, apparently my math wasn't mathing nothing. I was looking at it as
I got you.
25 laps left to go. It's not. It's 15 laps to go at this point. So yeah, anyone coming into the pits will make it to the end. As now Caps is going to leave the track and bring the 99 down into pit road. Still yet to see quite a bit of drivers make that final pit stop though, and they're not going to be able to make it from lap 37, which is the last time they came into the pits. They will have to make a pit stop before the end of this thing, and we'll see how everything shuffles out and who is the leader. Right now it's Dylan Jacobs leading the way in the 5, Austin Smith, Dylan Emerson, Will O'Connor, and Kelly Akron for the top 5. But right now your top 9 still need to make a pit stop to finish this race.
Yeah, first, let's see, Caps, obviously falling down through the order. So, it's when that first car came in there, lap 58. You're looking at TJ Hanley at the moment, possibly pulling a major undercut here for some of these other drivers, and it might pay out. Can he get back there as he is on the lead lap, just at the tail end? Nope.
No, I don't think he's on the lead lap. Yeah, I was gonna say he is a lap down.
Yep. No. Yep.
Little pass backwards. That's okay. But Kelly Akron now going to drop down in the pits, as is Ron Millam. So we're going to have a couple more from that top 10 start to drop in, and we'll see probably TJ Hanley make his move in front of them as Kelly Akron a little bit through the grass there. Doesn't look like any kind of black flags, as maybe the officials here tonight being nice, as now your top 2 into pit lane, Jacobs and Smith, and now Dylan Emerson coming down in the 6 as well. Will O'Connor into the pits. We'll see if Josh Smith decides to stay out another lap, as he is on the backstretch. Cody Brewer would be the only other one that is yet to pit, and you look back, Michael Garcia last pit on lap 45, so he is going to have to come in at some point, I think, before this thing is over. But now Joshua Smith into the pits, Cody Brewer coming through turns 3 and 4, and yep, we're going to see that 12 drop into the pits as well. So it's going to complete our pit cycle without Michael Garcia yet. I believe he still needs to make a pit stop. But now we'll see who shuffles out to the lead. Right now, Austin Smith, Dylan Jacobs trying to come out of the pits and do it quickly, as TJ Hanley coming through turns 1 and 2 already got past Michael Hake, and now he's going to dive down to the inside. Right there is the pass for the lead. TJ Hanley has got the 8 out front, but he's got 6 lap. Well, he doesn't have 6 lap older tires, because it looks like the 33 of Austin Smith deciding to either take right sides only or not take any tires at all. A quick pit stop by him, which is why he is up there battling with TJ Hanley right now for the lead.
And obviously drivers trying to get into the final few cars for the championship to see who will be your victor here for the season. But right now this is the battle, and a quick pit stop or not, definitely giving a fight for the lead here, as a 33 gets around the 8.
And we mentioned, which one of these playoff drivers will get the win here tonight, or will it be somebody playing spoiler? Right now, Austin Smith looking to play spoiler. He's not one of your final 8 drivers. And you're seeing that 83 now late in the race. Matthew Hake starting to fall back through the field. Dylan Jacobs with some newer tires, 6-lap newer tires, then the 83. And now you see the 76, Joshua Smith. He just recently came in, so he's going to get around the 83 as well. So a night where Matthew Hake looked to be the fastest car out there on the track. It's starting to fall back here a little bit. He's got to try and hang up there and at least get a top 5 to maybe get some good points haul here tonight to try and move his way up a little bit closer to that cut line. He's still got next week yet to go at Kansas, similar track, 1.5-mile tri-oval. But here tonight, it may be feeling like maybe one slipped away here, as we're starting to near the end of this race. Austin Smith is your leader by 1.2 seconds over TJ Hanley. Dylan Jacobs is in third. He's 3 seconds behind Austin Smith right now. He's got 4 fresh tires. Actually, looks like he may only have 2 tires as well. Looks like he took a 12-second pit stop. But does he have the time to run down your leader? Right now he's going to the outside of TJ Hanley. Going to make quick work of him if he can out of turns 3 and 4, side by side for the lead. And Dylan Jacobs is definitely on the move. He's got some pretty quick lap times here, but again, does he have the time to get up there? 1.5 seconds right now to Austin Smith.
Not impossible, but big gamble here. You know, for the likes of the 33 is still running some pretty decent laps. Does look like Dylan Jacobs was about a tenth faster. I don't know if it's going to be enough here tonight, but this thing ain't over yet. We have 5 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. The 33 is out front over Dylan Jacobs, TJ Hanley, Matthew Hake, and Josh Duncan. We haven't talked much about, well, we talked about him a little bit. And obviously Harper Cap's getting involved there in an earlier incident up here in the top 10 as well, with a good, looks like he's going to have a good finish here tonight. Dylan Emerson in the 6th. And Thomas O'Connor started a little farther up, but falling back to P number 8. Tiffany Ellis in the top 10, controller or not, still doing what she needs to do, and having a decent race here tonight in that number 9/88. But caution will fly as Will O'Connor something happened. So we'll go back there and check to see what happened. This is going to stack everybody up, and then the 24.
What happened to it was the 19 and the 24 kind of getting loose there at the same time? If we can take a look back at that again, see what exactly happened there. It was kind of strange. Did the 424 get into the back of the 19?
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like mid corner there. The 24 maybe just a little bit faster, gasses up and gets into the back of 19. So Will O'Connor is going to be the one that goes around here, and some pretty heavy impact to the inside wall here as well for that Guinness number 24. It's going to bring us under a late race caution, and things will get very interesting now because that gap will be gone up to the leader. Now, who's got the right strategy? Does anyone have any tires? Do you dare lose track position to go in and get any tires if you have them in there? This is where it gets interesting, and this is where the crew chiefs earn their money.
Yeah, it's a tough call, Carl. I mean, you know, new tires reign supreme here at Vegas, and it can be, you can make a lot of positions. So, you know, obviously I'm in the likes of Will O'Connor, Ballard, Spencer, and maybe Millum, even Kelly Akron. You know, I'd say anybody behind the top 10, if you're not coming in, you know, you're giving up an opportunity maybe. But we're going to see if anybody comes in this time by. And you're going to see some drivers peel off or not peel off. TJ Hanley, not
coming in.
Yeah, the 83 coming in, and likes of a lot of drivers. So you got Hake and Emerson and Ellis and Stafford, Millum, Ballard, O'Connor all coming in. So like I said, a lot of the drivers at top 10 down are taking the opportunity to come in and get some fresh tires. And to see if they can make their way up maybe just a little bit farther or get back to where they were at least. It does feel good out there on some fresh tires, but we're coming down to it here, and you know, it could be a 3 and go, a green white checker and go, or it could be
it is going to be a green white checker here. We got 2 attempts. It's going to be attempt number 1 right here, and it's going to be tough to come from that far back, even with fresh tires, to make any kind of hay. But maybe Matthew Hake thinking that, you know what, I'm on lesser tires already. I might drop another 3-4 positions if I stay out. So maybe at least if I come in, I can get back up there and hold that position that I was in. But I got to say, one thing that I have been looking at and I find is funny. I know they say married couples, you're together so many years, your tendencies, whether good or bad, you start to kind of, you know, fall into the same kind of rituals and things and do the same thing that your partner does. It's good to see, Jimmy, that I left the Love to Hear It on for quite some time in the CSRL race tonight, and you're doing it here tonight for Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. So some of our tendencies...
Yeah, they love to hear us, Carl. They love to hear us.
Exactly. Well, I did it. I love to see that you're doing it as well.
Yeah.
So that's just a good couple of broadcasters right there.
I need to have like another scene or something. Like it's same thing. It just switches over. Like force myself to switch it on and off. Because it's not an automatic thing here. It's in the booth. It's you know, it's an afterthought. I try to let people know what's going on, but I guess more from the sound, because I usually crank the sound of the cars up on mine. That's the first thing I do is I go down, I crank it down, and then I turn our mics on. Yeah, it's I was just interested in what was happening with the 60 while you were gone, and I ended up hitting a wall. No caution came out, and they were real slow. So 60 being saved there. Kyle Emerson, obviously in the Kraken car here. Obviously not the finish that they wanted here tonight, but was able to keep things green at that time, and ended up bringing the car down under green and then going a lap downs, but finds himself in right now P number 19. So we've seen the 60 shine every now and then up towards the front, and a little bump here. Everybody's getting anxious. They're getting this thing down to the end. How will it finish? Lights are off of the pace car. They're rounding out of turn number 4, getting ready to go back to green.
It is go time here in Vegas. It's time to push all the chips in. It's time to see if you got the right cards at the right time. It's go time here. Overtime in Las Vegas. Green, white checkered attempt number 1 is underway. The 33 gets a good restart here. Heads off into turns 1 and 2 with the lead, with TJ Hanley in the 8 is right there trying to run him down through the corner. He's going to put his nose to the inside, but not enough. And we're going to have another caution here on the backstretch. 24 is going to go, actually, sorry, that's the 5 of Dylan Jacobs going to go spinning around here on the backstretch.
Yeah, he caught it off on the background, and man, a 5 dropped down so fast to the field, but there goes that attempt, and obviously up front still Austin Smith still holding on to the lead here, but we'll go find out, see what happened to the 5 as he went for a ride. It does look like a little bit of D&D dice being rolled here as the 5 goes around down the backstretch, bringing out the caution to bring out the second green white checker attempt. So hopefully anybody that stayed out was able to gain a position, or that took the new tires, gain a position or 2, but 5 being the biggest loser here tonight, unfortunately. So tough luck for the number 5 here tonight, but Austin Smith looking to get the victory here tonight over TJ Hanley. Harper Caps now up in P number 3. Carl, I did not expect that from the 99 tonight after being involved here early on. And then Cam Bice in that number 1 car up in P number 4. Josh Duncan rounds out your top 5. Then you have Thomas O'Connor, Kelly Akron running in 7th. Matthew Hake has made it up to 8th. Tiffany Ellis in 9th, and Cody Handler for your top 10.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that incident one more time, as it looked like the one maybe drifting up just a little bit, and maybe causing the incident right there, and bring us under another caution here. Give it another attempt at a green-white checkered here. And the regulation was not good enough. Single overtime was not good enough. It's time to go double overtime here in the desert and see who's got it. And it looked like TJ Hanley maybe had something for Austin Smith there, but you need the time to do it. And now only one more green-white checkered attempt out there tonight, and we'll see if he's got what it takes to try and get it done quickly, because it's going to be done very quickly here with this race. And I mean, again, there's so much on the line with the playoffs here. Austin Smith not factoring in here, but TJ Hanley certainly is. Harper Caps, Josh Duncan, Thomas O'Connor, none of these drivers factoring in, but they can factor in to who wins this race. And really maybe, actually Thomas O'Connor is back there in 5th, and he's below the cut line. He would love to get out there and try and get this win here and lock himself in. But we'll see how this thing all plays out here as we're coming to the end of it, and we need to have a winner here one way or another. Hopefully it happens under green flag conditions, as we're going to get one more attempt at a green-white check. You're going to double them up this time, I believe. We'll just watch the pace car there, make sure the lights go out. Indeed they do. As the pace car out here in Vegas likes to save a little bit of fuel. It drives on that apron, and now comes back up on the track as we're getting ready to go. Austin Smith, TJ Hanley on the front row. Harper Caps, Josh Duncan, Thomas O'Connor for your top 5.
3 more glorious laps here at Vegas on a Wednesday night, and no better place to be than here with Pit Road Speed Limit Racing and the fans out here every single Wednesday night for our doubleheader, and really do appreciate y'all chatting it up out there, giving us something to read, and supporting the drivers that are on the track each and every week. If you haven't already, I know a lot of you already have, smash that thumbs up button, hit the bell when we go live. Plenty of racing on CRN throughout the week, as me and Carl tend to keep pretty busy for the most part. Sometimes holidays stretch us out, but looking to go green here shortly as they're entering turn number 3.
If you haven't pushed your chips in yet, it's time to do so now, because this is the last restart we'll have of the night. Hopefully we'll get to see that white flag and checkered flag here tonight, and this thing doesn't end under caution. But again, there's a lot on the line out here in the desert as we head back to the restart zone here one more time, the Echo Park restart zone, as we're back on the loud pedal. Great restart on the inside from the 33 of Austin Smith. Harper Caps, we've certainly seen quite a bit of him here tonight. He's now up there in 3rd place. But in between them, TJ Hanley is one of your playoff drivers, would love to get himself a victory here tonight. Josh Duncan up there in 4th as we head down the backstretch here into turn 3 and 4. If we get back to the white flag, we'll get to see the checkered flag after all in under green, and it's exactly what's going to happen. Some bumping and banging back there, but the white flag is out. One more lap to go. Does TJ Hanley have anything as we get really close to some action there, as the 83 of Hake trying to work his way back up through the field, and is doing so pretty well up into 5th place right now. But through turns 3 and 4, the 33 of Austin Smith going to play spoiler here tonight. He is going to win it here in Vegas. Dylan Jacobs going to come home in 2nd. 3rd place going to go to Thomas O'Connor. Matthew Hake in 4th. And then Harper Caps rounding out your top 5 with Tiffany Ellis. Whether she's in the 88 or the 9, she comes home with a good finishing place here in 6th. Kelly Akron, Dylan Jacobs, Chase Bullard, and Joshua Smith for your top 10.
You don't think you can drive on the controller and get a decent finish? And Tiffany Ellis just proves that, obviously, along with some of the other drivers that we've known throughout CRN, to go out there and do that. So you don't need top-notch equipment. You can just get yourself your handy-dandy PlayStation controller. Wow, it's a little slow there in the front stretch, as somebody gets turned off the road, and it's nothing like coming down, and somebody's almost stopped to have an avoidance. But great race here tonight at Vegas, as usual, from the drivers here at Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. So congratulations to those that had great finishes, and those ran out of luck. Hopefully you didn't max out your credit cards here tonight making any side bets. But we'll go ahead and run down the finishing order of the race and where your favorite driver may have finished. And our winner here tonight is going to be the number 33 of Austin Smith. And then TJ Hanley will finish in 2nd, Thomas O'Connor in 3rd, Matthew Hake with the top 5 in P number 4, and Harper Caps, after being in the wall early on, finishes in 5th. Tiffany Ellis in 6th, Kelly Akron in 7th, Dylan Jacobs, Chase Bullard, Joshua Smith round out your top 10. Ron Millam, Cody Brewer, Bruce Spencer, Charlie Stafford, Dylan Emerson, Will O'Connor, Josh Duncan, Cody Handler for the top 18, and then the rest of the field here. 19th, Kyle Emerson, 20th, Richard Covington Jr., Harry Krantz in 21st, Jay Monin in 22nd, Michael Garcia in 23rd, Kent Bison 24th, and Brian Roy will finish out the 25-car field here tonight.
Thank everyone out there in CRN Nation for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, as this is, again, the 2nd race of 3 in the round of 8. So we still got one more coming up next week at Kansas to determine who the other 3 drivers are, because we did not have a playoff driver win here tonight. So we still got 3 positions up for grabs in the playoffs, but we'll get our top 3 here in for their interviews. Looks like we do have all 3 of them in there right now, so we'll go ahead and start with our 3rd place finisher here tonight. Is going to be the 18 of Thomas O'Connor. Jimmy.
Hey,
How's it
Tom.
going, guys?
Hey, welcome to the booth, man. Bringing the Butterfinger here. I need a snack. Interesting run here for the 18. Found yourself up on the front row to start this thing and end up falling back to the field. And at the end, here you are back again up in the booth. So good comeback here for the 18. Give us a little rundown of how your race was. It was a pretty quick one here tonight.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been in the booth, so good to hear you guys. I surprised myself. I've been super busy at work, and I have not had any practice time at Vegas this week, so I was really scared getting into this race. I was just hoping I could just squeak by, get a top 10, and focus on that last race. But I surprised myself in practice, and I got a good lap at for qualifying, and so I felt really good. Biggest key takeaway for myself, this one thing I've never done at Vegas is try the high side, and I felt like that was helped me out through the entire race, was just staying on that high side, and I'd get a launch off exit. But pit strategy, sticking around with some of my friends, and got kind of lucky. I was listening to a couple of people saying they only had about like a lap and a half fuel left. So I was praying, hey, why don't these two people in front of me, lose fuel right at the last second? But I'm glad I got a P3. So it was a good day. Now go get a Butterfinger and call it a night.
Butterfinger for the champion, or a great run here. It was one way to do it here, and sometimes you get lucky, and at Vegas, it happened to roll the correct way here for you tonight. So work might have kept you busy, but you got even better results here on the track. So congratulations, man, on that third place finish here as you're heading into the final two races of the season. And we look forward to seeing you out there. So we wanted to give you some time after saying congratulations and give you some time for any shouts you might have in at number 18.
Yeah, like always, I'm always up in this booth whenever I'm here. I can't thank you guys enough. You guys put on an amazing broadcast each week. And, for not just us, but for the entire community you support, I got to thank you guys. But like I say, got to thank my league, Cody, who's been amazing as a league owner, and all of our admins and just all of our members. We're still growing, we're still learning. But, to those that, got into some accidents tonight, those that are looking to get into a beginner friendly league, we're always open. So I got to shout them out. And then, hey, if you guys are looking for a place to stay, this is the right place to go. And I got to support, thank my family. So, glad my brother took out that last caution. So I'm glad that him and Cody got into it. So I got to thank those two, but, good luck to to you guys tonight and going forward. And we'll hope to see you in 2 weeks in the championship.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to, you got them two races, and the championships are just right on the corner. So hopefully you get a little bit of off work time to get some practice in on the remaining two tracks. Again, congratulations, and thank you for the shout outs, and we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Yes, sir.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, and a man that was below the bubble heading in, Thomas O'Connor in the 18. So I'm sure he'll be working his way to get back up into that top 4 after tonight's race. Second place here tonight is going to go to the 8 of TJ Hanley, who definitely had a fast number 8 here tonight. Maybe just not fast enough. Had a little bit better, runs into the corner, but it seemed like that 33 just kind of, held that middle line, and you weren't able to get a good enough run there, TJ. But heck of a good finish for you here tonight after starting back there in 17th. Do you feel like you kind of missed one here tonight and missed yourself locking into the championship, or do you feel like you're sitting pretty points-wise?
No, I feel like I'm sitting pretty good point-wise. First and foremost, long time no see, boys.
Right.
How's it been? Ooh, the chair's nice and warm. You kept it warm for me. Thank you. No, the number 8 TH Designs, the black gold paint scheme tonight did exactly what I wanted it to do tonight, and that was to go through the traffic a little more than I wanted to. Couple scrapes here on the passenger side, but that's okay. But yeah, everything went according to what I wanted it to do, and I have zero complaints. Double victory for me, as Harper also got her first top 5 in this league, so I'm very proud of her. I know Jay had a rough night. He's had a rough couple of weeks, but I hope he's able to make it. I don't think he'll be able to race next week. He's going to be going to an ARCA race for all that. But man, it was a good night. It was a good points night, and that's what I needed. I just needed good points, and that was my overall goal, was just make sure that I could get as many bonus points as I could. I knew I couldn't get all the lead the most laps, so it just wasn't in a position for that. But I knew I could get a bonus points for leading a lap. I knew I could get what I could get, and if second place is the best I can do, that's more than fine with me. Just was not a fan of the high line tonight, man. I wanted to run the high line, but I felt way more comfortable on the bottom, and it paid off. A lot of people were overdriving their entries and going up in the middle, so I was able to get down low. Apologies to Tiffany and Bullard and everybody for going 3 wide on the front stretch right there in that first stretch. I was just trying to keep my momentum up and trying to keep it off of them, but we were all able to keep it clean, so I'm more than okay with that. 77 got loose coming off turn 2 there at the end of the second stint, and wiggled, gave us a door check, and we fell back a little bit, but we rolled right back up to the front, so no hard feelings there. And then man, right there at the end, my crew chief Jacob Fifield, he was guiding me along. He's got a lot of energy. He's got a lot of experience. Not energy. I'm sure he's got a lot of energy. He's young.
You're the one that's got the energy for the team.
But he's got. Well, I got to make up for last time. But he's got a lot of experience in the NASCAR College Series and the Coca-Cola Series. So just trying to give me the best of advice on what to do and what to go with. And we just felt more comfortable with 4 tires and being more sure of ourselves that we could play a better defense if it was needed. The great idea on both of them, it was just something we considered, was doing a 2-tire stop, especially after Auto Club. I even considered no tires. Kind of glad I didn't do that. But yeah, it was a good night. It was a great night. It's great seeing you both because it's been a long time. Shout out to the service station. Great fruity teas, loaded teas, love it, and some dirty sodas. Not quite my flavor, but I'm getting to it. We're trying to find a flavor that I like, so I can make it a paint scheme for next season. And thank y'all for putting this on, and for whoever's cheering us, their favorite playoff drivers on. You don't have to cheer for me. You can boo for me for all I care. but I do thank y'all for watching. We all do appreciate it, and after tonight, we're going to have 2 races left, and I'm very excited for them both.
So here's the question. Obviously, a good points night here tonight, and you already came in with a little bit of a buffer into tonight's race. So is there any thoughts, or maybe I should say, what's Jacob chirping in your ear next week? Is it, status quo, drive as hard as you normally do, or is it maybe, just keep an eye on the points here and there and make sure you kind of lock in like a top 10 finish?
No, W.
All right, buddy. That's what I like to hear.
A win is a guarantee.
Exactly.
Should have won last week. Didn't happen. Should have won tonight. Didn't happen. But if we keep putting ourselves in a position of a top 3, we are going to lock ourselves in on points, and that is the plan. Hopefully, once we get the point standings up and we look at the numbers, I have a feeling I'm going to be locked in. There is no doubt in my mind. It seemed like a couple of the playoff guys were struggling a little bit there at the end, so I'm very confident that I'm going to be locked in via points, but I'm not going to take any risks. No, we're going to Kansas next week. These speedways are my bread and butter. I proved it last week at Texas that I like speedways. Proved it tonight. I like speedways. I just move so much better. We're going to Kansas. We're going to another speedway. Oh, and then we're going to Homestead, another speedway. These last 4 races are honestly set up the best for myself, and I could not have asked for any better. So yeah, I'm very excited for it, and I cannot wait to go to victory lane. If not next week, I'm going to win a title at Homestead. It's not a matter of if, it's going to be when. They have to come get me. They have to watch out for me because it's mine to lose. That's the only person who can beat me is me.
Well, that's what I like to hear, calling your shot here 2 weeks in advance. Well, congrats on the finish here tonight in second place. We'll see what you can do out there in Kansas, whether you're locked in or not. I'm sure that 8's going to be gunning for one more victory before we head to the season finale. But either way, congrats, and we'll see you next week in Kansas.
Thank you, boys. Thank you, chat. Y'all have a good night.
You too, buddy. That's your second place finisher here tonight, the 8 of TJ Hanley. Last but not least, your winner here tonight, the man that held them off here at the end, the 33 of Austin Smith.
Austin, Jimmy Carl up in the booth. You copy?
Hi, Coffee. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, welcome to Victory Lane, everybody. As the 33 Milwaukee Machine gets it done here tonight, holding off the likes of the whole field, TJ Hanley, and a couple cautions at the end. Definitely made things a little interesting, but you're able to get that number 33 where you need to be at the end here and come away the winner. Give us a little rundown of your race, man, as and how it went. As you started up towards the front, you gained 3 spots, so you're started back there in P number 4. So obviously you had speed from the beginning and finished it out here really well there tonight.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Vegas is all about timing up your runs and take them when you can get them. Also trying to manage tires. I was a little worried there at the end. I think I had like a half lap of fuel left, so I ran out on the backstretch. But it was fun.
I mean, you were able to get it done. Obviously a couple cautions here and there. Obviously makes everybody think when to come in because the field was doing great. Some longer green flag runs, and obviously you always second guess yourself sometimes on when you should come in. But your plan was executed the way it needed to be tonight. You came away the victor here tonight. So we always want to say congratulations up here in the booth from us and the fans and give you some time for any shouts you might have in at number 33.
I'd like to thank my smoking hot wife.
And that's all. It's probably the only one that you ever need to shout out. So especially if she's out there watching, you can learn from one of our I guess co-commentator every now and then. He ignores his wife every now and then, and she gives him poop. So I'm sure she'll appreciate that. And you can again, congratulations from us up here in the booth, man, and go celebrate this one with your smoking hot wife.
Okay, 10-4. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
That is your winner here tonight, the 33 of Austin Smith. Plain spoiler here tonight, as second race of the round of 8 doesn't go to a playoff driver. So that means there's 3 spots still up for grabs. We'll see if anybody is officially locked in points-wise after a couple good finishes, and certainly could very well be the case. And TJ Hanley feels like he may be one of those that may be locked in points-wise heading into next week. But right now, officially, the only one locked in is still Dylan Emerson, and certainly a good thing because Emerson didn't exactly have a good race here tonight. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't need one, as he is already locked in the 15th place here tonight. Doesn't matter, as he's good to go. But we'll see what everyone has next week at Kansas, the final race before we get to the season finale at Homestead. We still got a doubleheader coming up tomorrow night, as myself and Jimmy will be out here with the Virtual Velocity Racing Series. And then we'll have John and Mike on the mics for the Core GT Series, as they'll be heading to Algarve as well, and a slight chance of rain there as well. I believe 46% chance of rain, as Algarve just apparently is in rain season right now. But we'll see what they have to offer tomorrow night as well. But for myself and Jimmy from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, it's time to hit the tables. We'll see you at the track.